The time is now 24 minutes past 8. Alma Deutscher wrote her first opera at the age of 7. She wrote a violin concerto at 9. And this year, her full-length opera of Cinderella will be premiered in Vienna. She's just 11.
I started playing the piano when I was 2 and the violin when I was 3. And actually I started to compose when I was 4, so writing things down on paper.
You just found that the music was coming to you?
Yes. I didn't even know that it was called composing then. I just sit at the piano and play the ideas I had in my head.
When you think of musical prodigies, the names Mozart, Schubert and Mendelssohn come to mind. But here's another, Alma Deutscher.
Da kann eine gewisse Alma Deutscher allerdings locker mithalten. Die Britin hat schon im Kindergartenalter
A very young classical composer in England is now living her very own fairy tale. Alma Deutscher began playing the piano when she was 2 and the violin a year later. And now she has written and composed her first opera at just 11 years of age.
Who's that down there?
That's my younger sister, Helen. Look at the little monkey.
So with Cinderella, it's really interesting the way you've changed the story.
You see, in my opera, I don't have a shoe because I think the shoe is a little bit silly. The prince doesn't find Cinderella with a shoe, but he finds her with a melody. So, you see, now she isn't just a pretty girl who cleans and keeps quiet. She's actually clever and she's a composer. And the prince is a poet. And so, what happens is that as part of the plot, Cinderella finds a poem that was written by the prince. She doesn't know that the prince wrote this poem, but she loves it, and she's inspired to put it to music. And so in the ball, she sings it to the prince, but she doesn't know that he wrote the words, and he doesn't know that she wrote the music. And so it's all a bit of a muddle, but in the end they find each other, like lyrics finds music.
Alma's opera, Cinderella, has just begun rehearsals in Vienna.
What do you think? Because the contrabass and cello are really going to play like everybody. Nochmal wiederholen, es wird einmal möchte so einfach Änderungen das werden wir wiederholen und mit Tina noch einmal alles noch einmal machen. Okay, das wird from measure 6.
Alma's progression as a composer has been carefully recorded by her father, Guy.
So this is Alma, age 7, in Berlin, waking up first thing in the morning with a melody that she had in her head, and just playing it all. So she's singing one of the singers, and her right hand is playing the other singer. You hear this little girl on the piano with the and then you hear this. This is what it was in her mind. You know that it's almost blood curdling, isn't it? That when you in the operas are so dramatic, and it doesn't maybe look it when a little girl gets up in the morning and plays something on the piano, but that's what you would have heard in her mind.
אני Alma Deutscher, ואני בת 7, ואני באה מאנגליה, ואני לומדת עם נטשה ביאסקי, והכינור זה של אמנון ויינשטיין,
Oh yeah, so she was playing in a concert in the north of Israel on a sort of type of violin course and master classes, and a concert in the end. And we had a very long car journey back home. And the moment we came back home, she essentially ran to the piano. She very quickly wrote just a few bars of the beginning. And this turned into the main aria of the opera, where Cinderella composes music to the prince's words that she finds.
Okay, perfect. Okay, 5 Minuten Pause.
You've got the whole score in front of you, helping.
Oh yes, of course, the whole orchestral score.
And Helen is helping you.
Yeah, Helen's turning the pages for me. because you see, because it's all the orchestra, I'm reading from all the orchestra, there's much more pages to turn all the time.
When they sing it, does it sound like when you practiced it?
Quite often it sounds, even better than how I think about it. And so especially the duet at the end between the Prince and Cinderella, I think that was amazing. It's really singing so beautifully together.
You want to have one of them? You don't like chocolate? I don't understand that. Alma, please.
I'll get your own one. No, I'll get Alma her own one.
Alma brings something new. And you can hear almost every composer, but in her own way. It's her own way of composing, and that I find it beautiful. And I've never heard something like that before.
So I thought about it more natural, if you're like speaking.
Okay.
So don't.
So, you know, it's not artificial, it's natural. That's Alma.
Ich höre, mein Sohn, dass du ein junges Mädchen trafst.
So, Guy, I want to ask you, I mean, is it true that Alma learnt to read music or understand music before she learnt to read?
Yes, that's true. She could read music when she was 3 or just sort of shortly after that, but she didn't learn to read until 4.5.
So in this hat here, I have notes. If you could pick 4 notes from this hat, and then I will improvise a piece based on the notes.
All right, hand me that then. Close my eyes.
Close your eyes.
That's one.
Si bemol.
2.
Mi.
3.
Si bemol.
4.
La. Difficult. Yes. So I'll just take a minute to think it over.
Yeah. And then, barely 40 seconds later, Alma magically transformed those 4 random notes.
This started extremely early on, improvising these melodies. I mean, she was around 4, and in the beginning we didn't understand. I remember sort of thinking, what is it she's playing? I mean, which tune is she trying to play? Because it wasn't familiar. And at some stage I asked her, well, actually, what is it you're trying to play? And she said, no, it's my melody, you know, it's something I hear in my head.
It's rather fascinating, the way she's become attached to her skipping rope.
Well, she got it for her birthday from her auntie. Before that, she used to wave various twigs and sticks around, and then she got that nice pink thing, and since then she's never parted with it. I'm not a psychologist, so I don't know why it is, but it is a fact that she says, I can't dream without my skipping rope.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, I think that's nice. I get a little bit. And just something for the king. If on where you start on bar 154, just try it if you just sang those 2 bars on an octave lower.
Well, Alma is really a force of nature, isn't she? I don't know that I've come across anyone of that age with quite such an astonishing range of gifts.
Yes, and now sing it up once more.
It's natural for her. It's play. And I think it was play for